Hello and welcome to Summoner Part 46. Now, after freeing Medieval of the evil tyrants, we are now sent back to the city of the Kosani. Fortunately, there is some sort of auto-teleportation travel thing, so you don't have to travel all the way back through the sewers again. Now, talking to this wise woman here, it's kind of hard to say because Joseph is blocking her, but she will fill you in on the rest of the story. Now, the issue at hand is in the labyrinth of the Kosani. Now, if you remember, at the beginning of the game, this is where we had to face the ordeal to prove our worth to the Kosani here. And, yeah, we're going to have to journey through that labyrinth again and defeat the Demon of Fire. Now, when it comes to... oh, and by the way, they just gave us the Ring of Fire right there. And you'll see what Joseph does with it when we finally get there. But like I was saying, there is some side quests we need to finish off in the city of the Kosani. But unfortunately, we can't do it until we complete this part of the storyline. And something I didn't notice before are these little lights here. Which, yeah, the Kosani seem to use glow-in-the-dark rocks as lanterns, and that is actually quite a cool concept. So, yep, you just head on in here, and needless to say, this area features a lot of fire-based enemies. So, yep, there you go. Now, when it comes to a summon in this dungeon, I decided to try out the Blue Imp. Possibly because he has ice powers, as well as healing powers, so I thought both of those would be useful in this environment. Now, as you can see, the labyrinth here is fairly demolished. It's seen its fair share of war and battles here. Presumably it's the fire demon underneath that's trying to break out. And if you're wondering, that is pretty much the rest of the game, capturing the 4 demons. And I must say, this last section of the game goes by really quickly. Like you might notice, we are going through the dungeon again, but the difference is this time around, the dungeons have been streamlined. You can see here, for example, there are no puzzles we have to face. We can just go through and hack and slash our way through. Now, of course, these enemies return, the Kosani heretics, which, as you can see, they're fairly weak. But then again, don't let them gang up on you because, yeah, they can still be quite a nuisance. As was just demonstrated by the pitiful defeat of Joseph. Honestly, the hero my ass. And also, I think the Blue Imp died off screen somewhere. But anyway, I remember I don't bother re-summoning that guy again. Now, what we also see in this dungeon is the return of the Fire Salamanca. Now, if you recall, in a very early part of this LP, we defeated one of those guys to reclaim one of their tongues, so we could help a blind beggar get his eyes back. But that was all the way back when the city of Llanel was standing. There was life in this land. Yep. Now, before I said the Kosani were pretty much the only civilization which didn't get destroyed in this game. Which I still subscribe to, because even though this labyrinth here is pretty wrecked, their city upstairs is still okay. Oh, I remember this room. This room held a very convoluted puzzle. Yeah, I was just about to talk about those knights, but they got quite easily defeated. But I do like the huge swords they're carrying. They're like Buster Blades or something. It's insane. the fire salamanders again, kind of like dragons in a sense, but yeah, just ooh, now here I think I tried one of the blizzard spells. Now the blizzard spell, it creates an area of ice which does continuing damage. Fairly devastating, but as you're about to see, it does damage your own party members. And unfortunately Fleece has a really low magical defense. And that's my fault, because in my defense, I had to level up her other abilities, and she has so many useful ones. So, yeah, unfortunately that's why Fleece is a bit vulnerable to magic. Yeah, again, I still like Fleece as a character, and her trip and backstab ability can still be quite useful against humanoid enemies. But honestly, at this point in the game, she's probably your least useful member. Although, in a sense, that's a good thing, I suppose, because it's sort of which character is the most useful sort of changes throughout the game. Like, I would say near the very end, Jakar becomes your best character. And Joseph. I like how Joseph is the hero of the game, and his summoning ability is a bit meh. It really is. And also, when he summons, he also makes himself weaker. Like, he has less hit points. Yeah, I must say, in the sequel, the summoning thing is handled 10 times better. You know, I look at Rosalind's magical abilities like fire and ice, and I realise that she really didn't need the higher level ice spells. I mean, I just shot off Blizzard there, but I really could have done without Blizzard. I mean, Icy Sleep, as you saw in the previous part, came in real handy with those liches. But yeah, other than that, most of her spells aren't really needed. Like, you know, you got Fireball and Fire Arrow. And that's probably all the fire spells you need. Yeah, as you can see, Vitalize heals all your party members a little bit. So, yep, again, heal is definitely the way to go. This is actually a nice idea for a level. I like how the floor is smashed up and we're exposed over these lava pits. Again, if you recall, in our first visit here, we fought a giant fire salamanca, and now we're fighting a giant fiery demon, and yeah, there are similarities. See, I'm cutting out these fights with these skeletal figures, because they are quite repetitive. You know, which has been my policy throughout this LP, but honestly they don't really last too long. If I didn't say the first time round, I do really like the music in this section. It's full of drum beats. It's exactly what an underground civilization would listen to, or at least I would imagine so. It is also nice to have lots of ice spells as well. I remember again in the first part when we were taking out the Fire Salamanca for that side quest, that I didn't have a magic user that knew any ice magic, so I bought like loads of icicle scrolls. Speaking of which, I did buy quite a few scrolls just in case I got into trouble. You know, in the parts of the game where you were stuck without a magic user. But yeah, turns out I didn't really need them. I mean, you saw I tried out the invisibility spell once, but that was okay. Something I'm trying to work out is what kind of weapon Joseph has here, because I've slightly forgotten. And I think he might be carrying a Dibassa as well, which is a good thing. I think, again, I keep singing the praises of the Dibassa, but it really is a ridiculously useful weapon. Well, now coming up, we have our boss fight here. there's not really much advice I can give you here, apart from he's obviously weak to ice. And also, yeah, you want to use the Golem summons. Now these, ooh, yeah, the Jade Golem, he looks badass. But like I was saying, this Golem, he's actually a very good summon to use on the bosses. And I say that because a lot of the bosses have sort of this ability to pick up your party members, or knock them down, with a really powerful attack. And he looks really cool here. His chest is open, he's got fire, he looks really badass. And I must say, out of the demons, he's probably the best designed one in my opinion. But anyway, like I was saying, a lot of these demon bosses do have like this ability to knock down your party members, or pick them up and throw them even. And of course the Golem, the Jade Golem, is immune to those attacks, which is a good reason to use him. Other than that, he's quite defensive, and I'd say he's a decent hitter. Now, what I'm trying to do here is use the Blizzard spell on him. Considering he's a big, heavy opponent, who doesn't move that much, I think if I can cast Blizzard on an area where he's standing, that will really hurt him. But honestly, the numbers are just popping up all over the place, so I'm not actually sure if it's damaging him. Well, he's down to half health, so I think that did do some significant damage. Oh, poor Felice. Oh, my poor Golem as well. Now, I think you can backstab these enemies, which is something I didn't really try out, but there you go. I like how he has those horns coming out of his back, like he's a furnace. Oh, and come on, party members, don't stand on the firewall he's casting. But yeah, as you can see, I do beat this guy first time, but he's fairly devastating. He's taking out lots of my party members. I was thinking it would be cool if we had an ice golem. That would be a good weapon against this guy. Well, I was saying that ice would probably be very weak to fire. Oh, no, I didn't notice that, but he shoots like little meteorites out of his back chimneys. He sort of shot them out and they landed on the floor around him. Yeah, this guy's badass. He's like a demonic organ. Come on, people, use the ice spells. And I'm controlling Rosalind here. What I really should do is take a few steps back, and then I won't be interrupted by his physical attacks. Oh, come on, Jakar. Looks like you'll have to finish this job off. Now, this, what he does here actually reminds me of Ghostbusters a bit. And that is a pretty cool animation, even if it's just a simple effect. But, yep. Demons be gone. And at least they sort of revive your characters a bit. Ooh, and again, he deals out some very useful items. That's an okay sword, I suppose. Well, actually, that's really quite a powerful sword. But anyway, we have some Midnight Plate Mail for Felice, which I don't think I can equip because her heavy arms isn't high enough, as well as some new robes for Rosalind. Yeah, that's kind of a good thing and a bad thing about these final fights, is that they give you some really useful items, but it's near the end of the game, so yep. Honestly, I think I prefer the Draco robe over the Singed robe, at least in design terms, because, yeah, the Draco robe looks like a proper piece of armour. I mean, like a proper formal... You know what I mean? Like the burnt robe looks a bit revealing. Where I guess this Draco robe looks more professional is the word I'm looking for. Oh, the Summoner Sabaton. Some footwear armour for Joseph here. And I think we got these Summoner leggings back in the palace. So yeah, we are making a proper full set.